Rod Smith. I'm one of the editors of Feedstuffs newspaper, and I'm here today with Bob Kraus on my left, who's an egg producer from Indiana and chair of the United Egg Producers. And on my right is Chad Gregory, who is senior vice president of the United Egg Producers. The United Egg Producers, UEP, this week introduced a new sustainability vision, and it is a very broad but yet very focused effort for the egg industry to move forward into the future. Bob, at the UEP meeting in Williamsburg last October, you actually put this ball in motion, so to speak, talking about the growing world population and the need for the egg industry to have a responsible role in feeding that population. Maybe you could talk about that for a moment.
Rod, we started off on our sustainability project from a different angle than maybe some people have. We really started off when it became clear that we're going to have to feed twice as many people in 40 years from now, and how on earth are we going to do that? We've heard time and time again, are farmers up to this challenge? And as egg producers, we know we can do it. We're up for that challenge, but we need to make sure that we're doing things today that move us in that direction. Feeding twice as many people by the year 2050 is an enormous task. And so we wanted to get started on that now and start defining what it was going to take for the egg industry to make that happen. So that's where we started. We didn't start with all of these things are important: the environment, the public relations, animal welfare, profitability. All of those things are part of sustainability, but we really started with our responsibility of having to help feed a hungry world.
And Chad, I know you're the staff person who has headed this up. This just is an awful lot to get done from the time it was brought up in Williamsburg in October to launch it here in Atlanta at the International Poultry Exposition this week in January. Maybe you could talk a little bit about how you moved it along so quickly.
So since the October meeting, not only is Bob Kraus the chairman of UEP, he's the chairman of this task force that we've put together. So it's Bob and about 6 other egg producers, really forward-thinking, positive egg producers that are on the task force that he assembled. And we've had a couple conference calls this task force has. It's been really fun to work with them and easy to get going because they have so many ideas. And so we have developed this vision statement, which is what you're talking about, that Feedstuffs has been awesome about writing an article this week in Feedstuffs about it. And why we're here today is to talk about this vision statement that we're launching. And these eggs or these pillars are what we're going to be working on overall. But we've decided that it's so complex and massive, developing a sustainability plan initiative for a whole industry, you can't do all of them at the same time. So let's focus on the environmental pillar or egg first. And then once we got that one done or to a certain point, then we'll focus on food safety and animal husbandry and so forth. So we have decided that the task force has decided that we are going to look at what the life cycle analysis is, carbon footprint is for a dozen eggs for the United States of America in 2010, and we're going to then go back 50 years to 1960 and plug in that same data to the model and be able to spit out what the life cycle analysis carbon footprint was for the egg industry back in 1960, 50 years ago. So we'll have, hopefully by the end of 2011, UEP will have an amazing story to tell about what the egg industry was like in 1960 compared to what they're like now, and all the amazing environmental improvements that we've made with regards to production and corn usage, feed usage, the bird performances, going from water troughs to water cups to nipples, all those little things. It's going to be quite amazing. Going from backyard flocks with 2,000 birds to cages to houses to complexes, the cost of food, all that stuff's going to go into this life cycle analysis that we'll have by the end of the year. And ultimately, though, Rod, it's one thing for UEP and the U.S. egg industry to be sustainable, but ultimately we want to be able to deliver something that that we can send out to every UEP member a template, a checklist, whatever, that can help them individually get going on sustainability plans for their own individual farms and companies. Because we can do one thing, but unless farmers actually start doing these things out on their farms, you know, you really don't accomplish anything. That's where the rubber meets the road, and really where sustainability efforts really happen is out on the farms themselves.
And I just, maybe to wrap up, I just want to make sure that one thing is clear. Talking about, well, you know, we're going to focus on the environment first, and then we can go to some of these other things like food safety and animal welfare. But it needs to be clear that the industry already has the model for animal welfare and an excellent food safety program that you're in the process of revising right now to make it stronger. So what you're talking about is just bringing all of these pillars, as I mentioned earlier, bundling them together in one program.
That's exactly right, Rod. Farmers are the original sustainable enterprise. We've been farming since the beginning of time, and one of the reasons we want to go back a few years is just to be able to tell the story about what we've done and how efficient we've been. Agriculture has always been striving to do more with less, and we've done a phenomenal job at it. So we do have these programs in place. We just need to be able to define them better, and then also to set up a benchmark. Here's where we are today, and then be able to reliably say, okay, here's where we want to be tomorrow. This is good. Sustainability means getting even better, and so here's where we hope to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. These things are doable. Let's not pay attention to these because we're not going to get much, we're not going to get the kind of benefits we're looking after. So we're trying to set a path for where we want to be in the near future too.
Okay, I think that pretty well explains what you're doing. I appreciate your time here this afternoon, and good luck with this project as it goes forward.
Thanks, Rod.
Thanks, Rod.